All right. Well, it's a rainy day in Fayette County, and we are experiencing a little difficulty with our audio. And thanks to Suzanne, we corrected that, so we hope you can hear us now. Um, we may be out of a little sync with our, shouldn't be an issue, but at least we've got sound. Let us know if you don't have sound in the chat box. But welcome to the Cook-A-Law. And this is a real special treat for me. I'm Diana Doggett. I'm the Family Consumer Sciences Extension Agent here in Fayette County. And as you know, we do this once a month on the first Wednesday at 11 o'clock. And we chose that time so that at the end, if you elected to prepare the food and cook along, you would have a tasty lunch around noon, 12:30. So that was your choice, but many of you have just joined us to observe and watch and to verify or validate whether you wanted to actually prepare this recipe or not, the recipes that we share. So in any instance, we're just glad you're here. And when I said I'm especially excited about today's program is that I've got some special guests. I'm not doing it alone today. I've got three of my grandchildren. School is out, and what better time to spend than in the kitchen, sharing dialogue, stories, and helping teach our next generation how to cook. So our first participant is Anna Kate Colby. Anna Kate, you have just concluded what grade in school?
Fifth grade.
Fifth grade, which means you are headed to
Middle school.
Middle school. Tell me that's not true.
It is. Sadly.
Sadly for Naughty, but absolutely wonderful for you. So Anna Kate's going to be she's going to be experiencing a lot of new opportunities, but all along she's my oldest grandchild, and she's always had an interest in the kitchen. I would dare say though, Anna Kate, your favorite part of cooking foods is what?
The desserts.
The desserts. She loves to bake, and we have a lot of fun experimenting with baked products. But today we're doing something entirely different. And one of the things that I really like to stress with those of you that have children and grandchildren is it's so important to start them early. We'll have some younger ages in here following Anna Kate, but they're never too young. And we really like to start with chopping, just experiencing measuring. There's so many wonderful things that contribute to the experience in the kitchen, and it's multifaceted in other areas of their life. So we've got a couple of knives here, and again, Anna Kate's 11, so she's mature. She's been in the kitchen. I start my children out on these really wonderful plastic chef knives. You can see these, and they're wonderful. They're serrated, but they are a hard plastic, so I don't really worry about them injuring themselves. I mean, I'm overseeing them, but it's just a really great thing to start out with. She'll use that on a couple of things here, but Anna Kate also has been learning to use a regular knife, and it's a sharp knife, is it not?
No, what knife would be sharp?
Well,
a butter knife maybe, but everything else would be sharp.
If you keep them sharp. So one of the things about knives is a dull knife is the most dangerous knife because you're having to do force and maybe use hard pressure that would cause some injury. So we do use sharp knives. That's our safest knives, but we have to really respect them. And so one of the things that we really watch when we're using real knives or our plastic knives is that child has a claw on the other end. I think we're going to get it overhead here soon. Has a claw that will protect their fingers, the tips of their fingers. So it's not a natural stance to be in. And if you can see on me, I could be holding this like that, and that's the tendency to do that. But we want to protect those fingertips So we've always got our fingernails on the product so that anything that would come down with the knife would be on the edge of our fingers and we could never get that close, right? Okay, so let's get started here. Let's tell the folks, first of all, what are we preparing?
Cucumber, corn, and bean salsa.
Oh, and this is, we're doing sort of a taco night out, and our featured recipe is our Rockin chicken taco, but we're going to do some side dishes that would go along with that meal, and this is one of them. It's a plated up Kentucky Crown recipe, and so we're going to start with peeling a cucumber. So Kate's going to go right at it, and she is going to cut off the tips. And there we go. And then she's going to, and so we'll get her knife all the way all the time. She's going to use a peeler, a vegetable peeler, to peel her cucumber. So one of the first times you used that peeler, what did you say to me, Kate?
I thought it was really satisfying.
She really likes the feel of that. Again, a tool that has to have oversight, but really is a great thing for kids to do because it is very, very easy to peel. Okay, she's doing a great job. And tell me your overall opinion of that. We got a compost container here, so we'll be putting that in our compost and we'll be using that as we do all these great vegetables. So tell me your overall opinion of the cucumber, Kate.
It doesn't have much flavor, but
no flavor?
no.
Okay, so it wouldn't be your ideal vegetable, really. You didn't pick that out as maybe one of your favorites. No. But the really good thing about cucumbers and what we're going to be demonstrating and using it for in this dish is adding some flavor that will accent the cucumber. And so we're going to be putting a vinaigrette on it, and oftentimes that's the secret of the deal with a cucumber. Cucumbers are pickles, and lots of people don't even realize that. We see these giant pickles, but they make a variety that is smaller, and they're harvested when they're very small, and that's how we get our pickles. All right, so we've got all this done, and now we're going to dice our cucumber. Okay, and you're probably so. What I like to do we'll do an overhead announcement. What I would like to do, what I'm helping is we don't want rocking on that surface. So I always just sort of make a level, one side level. And we can dice that if we want, but that way you can see that cucumber is not going to be rocking because it's brown. And that will help her. So she works up and toward dicing. And if you're doing a potato, if you're doing anything, it's always better to do that. Now tell me what you're doing right now, okay?
I'm making little slices, almost like rectangles, so then when I start chopping them up, they'll already be little squares.
Okay, so this is called dicing, and she's cutting to the center of that cucumber. And so we'll demonstrate in a second. Wow, this is a very easy way. And you know what? I just want to remind you, you might be a really proficient cook, and I've had my champion food volunteers in here. We teach technique. We're looking for picture perfect, and but when you're with kids, and throw that out the window. You know, all we care about is that they are experiencing this, and they get to test it, they get to succeed, they get to try, and make them really, really thin, really thin. Show me a really good cloth. Okay.
Could I ask a question?
And we are making tacos, okay? Second recipe is tacos, so hang on. We're just in Kate has gymnastics today, so she is going to run right out of here into a very long gymnastics practice session.
Almost 4 hours, 5.
Yeah, like 4 or 5 hours of gymnastics. So we wanted to begin with this recipe so we can include her. And this is a delightful accent to our tacos. So this is a bonus. We might call this a bonus recipe for you today. And as I said, it is a plated up Kentucky crowd recipe. So that's what's so very exciting about that is we share our plated up Kentucky crowd recipes because they match our Kentucky commodities. And cucumbers, there's always in abundance, and we always wonder what do we do with all the cucumbers that we have each and every year in our gardens. And this is a really great recipe for you to use them and to share it with others and to share the salsa. This salsa can be kept in the refrigerator for 3-4 days. It's one of those things that gets better with age, and you can bring that out at any time and just add it to, it can be an appetizer, it can be a side dish, for tacos that we're cooking today, or just any way you want to do that. All right, so she is almost finished with that. We're going to scoot on to the rest. Now, again, when children are cooking, we're sort of in not a fast mode, but we are going to move along as quickly as possible. And so when we do that, we can do towards you if you like. That's more comfortable. Whatever works for you. You like it that way? Okay. You have to have time in the kitchen with children. Children don't like to rush, and they like to think about what they're doing. And this is Claude. You don't have to get back that far. You might not use that. You get lots of cucumbers. You can grip it up here so that you hold that together. All right, she's on her last dicing here. And so, back to just taking time, letting them practice. And now, let's do this knife right now. I want to demonstrate this knife anyway, because this is certainly one that you're all going to want to use.
Actually, I found this one a lot more efficient.
Make a little bit larger on that. Okay. There we go. Perfect.
Okay.
All right. So we're going to take our scoop. We're going to get it in our bowl. And we had already pre-cut 1 cucumber, so we'll just add that. So the recipe calls for 2 cucumbers, 2 to 3, and we elected to do 3. When you're selecting your cucumbers, I didn't get a really large one. We can de-seed it. We'd rather not have seeds in this, so I got a smaller one, which is less mature, and we don't have to worry about getting those seeds out. Good job, Anna Kate. We're moving on to our next ingredient, which is
pepper.
Okay, that's a wonderful, beautiful yellow pepper. I'm going to take my big knife and just simply cut this in half. We can work on a half each on this. And that's a good way to do cooking together. Okay, and there we go. So we're just going to cut this little center out. Put that in our compost, and you're going to de-seed the rest of that. Your knife. Or you can take the little knife here if you want. That might be easier to see.
Yeah, probably.
So when I say pepper to you, Anna Kate, what's your first thought?
I was thinking the jalapeno pepper, the spicy ghost pepper.
Yeah.
I'm not a big fan of spicy.
No, she's not. She really doesn't like spicy food. So when I told her pepper was in this salsa, she went, I don't know. But you weren't a fan. I don't know if I'm really going to like that or not. And but when I told you it's going to be a yellow pepper, what did that bring to mind?
I thought of know, because a lot of the stuff that we have at my house has bell peppers in it. I think it's what it's
Mhm. So I'm gonna let you start dicing this one that I've got ready. Got a lot of combos coming today. All right, there you go. Yeah, and you can use this one if you like the big one or whatever. Yeah. All right. You're gonna love these knives. You would have to get these for your kids because they're just start at very beginning, go down. Really hard, really press down. Soft. There you go. All right. And again, just different peppers are not the easiest thing to cut through. They've got a tough skin, but that's okay. That's part of the experience. And done a great job. But using peppers are one of those vegetables I think that parents and grandparents and anyone, not just children, fail to recognize as such a great vegetable. It's loaded with vitamin C and vitamin A. But the point is, it's sweet. It has such a great sweet taste. And when you have that taste, it adds to so many dishes. And we like to do strips and use it with our dips, right? Yep. Substituting for a chip. So it's just a great way to add some fiber, vitamins, nutrients. We're just going to keep those. So you're going to put them in a row. Or you like to do it. You'd like to do it separately. Yeah. Look at that motion she's already got. She's doing her pushing forward. We practiced on that. And that does, that just, the more you practice, the more that becomes natural with children, and they don't have to learn it at a much later age. Practice makes perfect. And practice makes perfect. You know that in gymnastics, don't you? Yes. I already done it. I'll be thinking of you, girl, when you're doing all those hours today. But that's why she needs to have the fuel and have really, really good food so that she can definitely be ready for all the activities that she's going to do this summer. All right, I'll do a couple more of yours too. So we are adding these delicious sweet yellow peppers. You mentioned, you said bell, and often we refer to that green pepper as a bell pepper. Technically, I don't think that's correct, but that's how we know them. And you can certainly use a green pepper. You can use a red pepper. There's so many beautiful colors out there now, and this just adds to this particular dish. We suggest that you use the yellow. When I went to shopping, there was some of the prettiest ones you've ever seen in the supermarket. All right, she is doing a great job with that. So that's item number 2. And we have one more chop whip. Yeah, one more, and then the pint of chopping at the end, and then we're going to combine it all together and show you the finished product. Okay, last one. Oh, you know what? I almost put that in the compost.
Say goodbye to your ingredients.
Okay. All right. So we've done that, and let's just kind of wipe our. Now we're not changing. We're staying vegetables here, so we're going to keep our same mat. If we would change. If we were doing some kind of a different type of food, then we definitely would be changing our cutting board, but we're not. We're on to our tomatoes. Tomato. How do you say it? Tomato. Tomato. Tomatoes. Are you growing tomatoes at your house?
Yes, actually.
Yes, you are. You're watching them. You just seem to watch you get that first tomato. It's a great surprise to see it. All right, so we're going to cut our tomato in half. Use that one to start with. Put your ball in there. All right. I'll credit. Now, the first time that you and I did tomatoes together, what was one of the things you said when you saw this inside? What did you say about that? Be truthful.
I said it was really gooey.
Ooh, that just looks not very good. What did I tell you what it was?
It was actually the flavoring because, there's like the outside isn't that good, but this is the part that brings flavor to it.
Right. What's it called? Have you ever told?
No.
It's tomato jelly. It's the jelly of a tomato. And so many people do like to scoop that out, but I do want to remind you that is the most wonderful flavor of the tomato. So if you could get past the seeds, there's little seeds in there, but in most dishes they disappear. It is by far to your benefit to leave that tomato jelly in there. It's so good. All right, so we are going to that one is we're going to do like this. Okay. And you get your ball roll really, really well. Okay. Okay, fingernails in. There you go. All the way to the you make a little bit of There we go. So we're again just dicing 2 tomatoes for this recipe. So we have 1 pepper, 2 to 3 cucumbers, depending on their size, and 2 tomatoes. This one. Do that over there. Okay. And I'd elected to leave skin on because this particular recipe again can stay in your refrigerator. So I don't particularly want it to be. I want the tomatoes to stay more intact. So sometimes we remove the skin, sometimes we don't. And now just lay it down. Just lay it like that, and you can just use this knife. Okay, so tomatoes. Oh, what can I say about tomatoes? Lycopene.
They're red.
They're so good in so many dishes. We love our tomatoes. We can't wait till we get the real deals, and then we're getting some really great Kentucky products that are in our grocery stores now. We're really proud of that new industry that's growing tomatoes, and hopefully going to become world renowned for that. But tomatoes are an accent to any dish, and when we think about taco night, tomatoes are going to be there, right there, front and center, in many, many different ways. We're going to add them to our tacos and all kinds of things. So we'll quickly chop up 2 tomatoes. On our way. And we're going to definitely scoop up our tomato jelly with this because we're leaving some on the cutting board. So be aware that we're definitely going to put that in our dish. Now, I dare say you could use your food processor for all this shopping, okay? And I encourage you to do that because that's a wonderful convenience. But when you got kids, really teaching them how to cook. No, this is what to do. And it's just when you're alone in the kitchen with your child. I used to say that about my mother. The times I treasure, we didn't have a dishwasher growing up, and now I look back and treasure that time because I probably talked to my mother more washing dishes than any other time in my life. That we just talked, and there really wasn't anything else to do but talk. And that was a blessing. And so I say that to, I'm going to talk a little bit finer. And we're going to get started on what's this?
Cilantro.
Cilantro, yes. And cilantro. Tell me what you know about that.
It has a lot of flavors. I'm only going to add a little bit, so it's not like very, very, very flavorful.
Smell this.
It smells like mint a little bit.
Yeah, it's got, it's kind of
Mint a little bit.
Yeah, it tends to be for sure. So you start plucking that off, and we're only going to add a little bit of a cilantro, and you're either a cilantro fan or you're not. Okay. This recipe, I think a little added really does add to the flavor. But again, your choice. And we have elected to do that because this is the way we make it at home, and our kids they like it. So cilantro she's peeling off the leaves right now. You can put the stems in, but we're just going to use a little bit. So why not just get the real deal with just the leaves? All right. The last thing to do before we just put our finishing touches on this, and you can start chopping down here. Okay. Let's use that one's good. And you can just use both hands to do that. Just kind of fall it. All we're trying to do, we don't want to pulverize this by any means. We're just breaking it up into some smaller segments, a little bit more than that. Maybe these big here, just get them all at a bunch. Put them all big little tiny bunch. There you go. Now, as Anna Kate continues to experiment and cook in the kitchen, she will become really proficient with a good knife. And so that's, this is just teaching her how to handle what to do with it. And then I'm not sitting here fretting and worrying over whether she's going to slice her finger or not. So go ahead and put that in. This calls for about a fourth a cup. And so we're going to add a little bit more of that later. We're going to get you a towel here to wipe your hands. Okay, so we can take away your cutting board now. And one line. All right. All right, so we're going to do the fun part. We've done all the hard work. You did a lot of hard work there. You realize that? Yes. You did a lot of hard work. So here's all of our good vegetables that we've chopped. Look how much you did. That's a lot. Okay. So now we are going to add some onion. And I spared us today about not doing the onions because I thought, this is we had those already pre-cut. But that doesn't mean she hasn't done it. So we're going to put all those in, just dump them in. That's one small red onion. Okay? And we're going to just sort of mix. I'm going to mix this up, just sort of fold it from the bottom to the top. Yeah. Look, you smell that? It does smell like onions a lot, but it'll get all incorporated in there. Okay, good job. So while I finish that, we're going to make the vinaigrette. So how many? Intruders. Right. How much vinegar did we say we needed for this?
2 tablespoons or a 1/8 cup.
That's right. So 2 tablespoons of vinegar. We're going to mix that in a little bowl. You ready to go with this? Put that in there. Now we're going to put 2 tablespoons of sugar. This is optional, but we are going to put it in ours because we did already. You just put it in there. So we're going to add that. Okay, and then we are going to add, and this is this is the trick of this one. This is why children love it so much. This is one package of ranch dressing, okay? The dry version, and she's going to just put that, we're actually going to sprinkle that in. Just sprinkle all the way on top. There we go. You can just put it all, dump it, and just all. Yeah, there we go. The ranch dressing. Now we're adding a really great, another great ingredient. What's that indicate?
Beans.
Black beans. Black beans. So let's add that. Put that all of that in. Coming out of the oven. All right. And when you this, okay. And now we're going to add our. Now we're going to let's stir that up. Stir this up. We're dissolving our sugar in our onion. Do that. Get it all dissolved really, really well. All right, and you're going to pour that on top. We'll get all that out. The spatula. Now it's moving good, isn't it? All right, now let's just put all this together. Fold it in. Does that look yummy or not?
It does.
It's not only yummy, it's really a pretty, very, very pretty salsa. And as this, it will tell you that this is better if it sets for at least a couple of hours in your refrigerator. So let's show them one that has, you want to get that one up there, Shannon Kate? One that actually is through this whole tray.
Here's what it looks like when we let it sit for a few hours.
There you go. There you go. It's really, really wonderful. All we have to do is add some chips.
Oh.
There you go. And you just, you can dip. Beautiful. What do you think?
That's good.
Yeah. Of course, we're not going to double. We'll be sure not double dip. This is family. And when we put everything together at the end, we're going to have a feast. So with our tacos and our salsa, I think this is really, really going to be something that your family will enjoy, and it'll be a regular here in your refrigerator. When kids come in and they're hungry, what better rather than a creamy dip or a very high calories dip or treat. This is something that's not only delicious, but they're going to love it. And here comes another. Come on in here, Juliet. So Juliet's going to be our next cooking contestant today. And we want to thank Annie Kate for being here. We promise to save food for you
Better
when you get back from gymnastics. And I'm looking forward to a summer of great cooking. Okay?
it's a lot of fun.
Okay. See ya. Bye-bye. And now we have Miss Juliet Lester. Juliet, you are we're going to use a stool for you because you're just you're almost tall enough to measure up here, but I think we're probably going to need a stool. Okay? It's right over there. So you want to bring it here? And I'm going to place you a new cooking. We're going to all the way to the end. Yep, right there. All right, so we're excited about your recipe. You know what, Juliet? Most people tuned in today because they knew this was the recipe that was going to be presented. So this is what is this recipe?
Rockin' chicken tacos.
Okay, can you say that a little bit louder?
Rockin' chicken tacos.
Rockin' chicken tacos. You don't like tacos, do you? You do? Oh, okay. Well, that's good to know that you love tacos. And we have a lot of work for you to do, but I know you're up to it because you are just one great cook. Do you like to help Donnie and your mom cook in the kitchen?
Yeah.
You do. Yes, you do. You are always ready when called upon, and so that's exciting. All right, so we're going to make these tacos, and I know and you know that you could go out and get a taco mix, and actually we're going to feature a taco mix because it is easy to do. But this recipe we're going to make our own. Okay, we're going to add our own spices, and the key to this is when you read the recipe. And you'll get that later on this afternoon. The recipes to all and everything that we do today will be included. You could add and subtract whatever you want or add your favorites. But we're going to add some that we like that's featured in this recipe. Okay, so see, we does Donnie ever make messes in the kitchen?
Oh yeah, she always does.
Well, that's really true. You can ask anybody around here. I'm a great cleaner upper, but I do make my fair share of messes. All right, so we are going to make this this sauce that's going to go on this is our spices that are going to go on our chicken tacos. Now, I am so impressed because, again, you are just a really, we're going to do an overhead here, and you're going to point. I know, look at how he's doing here. All right. So, all right. So, you know what? When I put those in there, I knew they'd be easy for you, but I also knew that you'd be capable of taking the spoons, which I did. Okay. All right. So, all right, you know what? I'm going to test your knowledge of these spices and see which ones I can trick you on that you can't remember. All right, let's start with that one.
Chili powder.
Chili powder, next.
Garlic powder.
Next.
Oregano.
Yes, remember how we learned to say that? Do it.
No,
You do it. Say it.
Yeah.
Please.
No.
Oregano.
Oregano.
Which is what?
Onion powder. Black pepper powder. Paprika.
Very good. Okay, this girl knows her spice. All right, so she's going to take a bite. She knows how to level. And what is that, Juliet?
Red pepper.
Okay, now we had a discussion on this. This actually calls for a fourth teaspoon, which isn't very much. But when did you make executive decision about adding a hot, spicy red pepper flake?
It's gonna be too hot.
Yes. So she says we're not using this. Okay. So because we're making this kid friendly and we are going to have lunch together following this, we're not going to use the red pepper flake. Now, if I'm preparing this for my husband at home, we're going to use spices. Okay. Does he like hot foods? Yes, he does. All right. So here's our bowl, and you're going to begin with. We'll start here at the bottom, and you're going to tell us how much you're putting in, and you're going to level off, and we're not going to worry about messes. You're just measuring. Now, you'll notice that I have put these in little containers. Later on, you won't have to produce this. Later on, you won't have to do that. I can put these back in the bottles because they're not really going to be contaminated. We're using separate spoons for each one, but you can use smaller amounts than I have. But it's just, this is how they learn to measure. It's just important to do it. So I go to my spices are expensive. I go and get cheaper spices and let the kids really enjoy that opportunity, learning how to measure and the correct way. There you go. So we have a fourth teaspoon of paprika. Which one is this one?
black
No,
pepper.
this. How much?
A teaspoon.
Half teaspoon of black pepper. And then how much of our onion powder?
1 teaspoon.
1 teaspoon. Okay. Hey, remember, make them overfull. That's good. Overfull. When you get them, make them all really, really full. So you can spread it off. And our chili powder, how much? 1 tablespoon. That's big. Yeah. I want to make sure that you know how to measure all that. And what do you call that when you do that?
Give it a haircut.
Giving it a haircut. My kids named that giving it a haircut. All right, chili powder, 1 tablespoon. All right, then we're moving on to our garlic powder. How much? Make it real full, real full. There we go. How much of that? 1 teaspoon. Yep. And what's our last one? Oregano. Exactly. Yep, those are dry. Now, you know, when we get our summer gardens going and our herbs, we can use fresh oregano. That's delicious. Love to use the fresh herbs. I just planted mine yesterday. All kinds of herbs. Okay. Now we decided we're not going to do this one, right? So we're going to hold that one for granddog. And you're going to mix that up with a spoon, just real gently. Real gently. Yeah, look at that great combination.
The really one I can do really well is a chili powder.
It's the chili powder. It's the darkest, isn't it? Sure is.
And the most.
Yeah, the creek is pretty hot, pretty much so here. All right, got that? Now we're going to assemble our Rockin tacos. Rockin chicken. Rockin chicken.
Rockin chicken tacos.
That's right. Okay. Now, what do you like in your tacos? When you make tacos?
I like tomatoes. I like cheese.
Yes.
And I like
Okay.
chicken.
And you like chicken in here, don't you? So chicken is one of your favorites. So that's why I thought of you when I did this. We just did that. I don't think that's going to stick, but we're just going to do that. You're going to take your fork and just put your chicken, layer it in the casserole. Okay? Pretty good. Yeah, there we go. Now, I want to just remind everyone, I think we've had some other chicken dishes this year, but we don't rinse chicken anymore. We leave it in its container until ready to use. We put it on the bottom shelf of our refrigerators, but we don't rinse. That's a new USDA recommendation simply because we don't want those juices going into our sink and the surrounding areas. We want to contain all the juices to just that container. So we used to do that. We used to rinse our chicken, but there's no need to do it. And so Juliet is handling this very, very well. Okay, got that. So she has spaced those really, really, really nicely. And now she's going to take her spices. I think you remember how to do the, yeah. So she's going to just cover the chicken with spices. That's okay. Just go for it. There you go. She's just going to get a little coating on all of the chicken. And it's going to be, oh, yeah. So the interesting thing about this particular dish is that this is all one dish. It's like less messy really in the kitchen because once you get all this together, once you get all this together, just all of it. Once you get this put together, then you've got your taco dish ready. You can actually serve out of this casserole dish. It's number 13, and
it could be in a restaurant.
right. So she's We're gonna put all this good seasoning in here. It's all gonna be it'll cook throughout all the dish. Put it on our chicken first. Put it right across. And almost finished with that, and then we're gonna add some yummy, yummy ingredients on top. Got it. Okay, this is a pound of chicken, by the way, 1 pound. And I use chicken fingers. Size of bread will be good. All right, now you put a spoon on. One of your favorites. What is that? Wow, what kind are they? Black beans. And there's some corn. That's okay. It's good. We're going to be adding some corn. You can get that into the other bowl. So really, you can just sort of scatter it out everywhere. You're doing a great job with it. Oh, there would have been.
It's really hard to fly, but
On that side. Okay. And what about this one? There you go. You like corn? You love corn. How about here, corn on the cob?
I love it too.
Well, you do. I have to always have corn for all of the dishes. You can even, once you do all that, you can scatter with your spoon later. Yeah. Really good. And that is also drained. Drained our corn. 1 15-ounce cans. We've got 1 can of each, and we've got our last can to go. And you can use this spoon, and you're just going to spoon your diced tomatoes over the top, and we've got some juices that are going to go, some tomato juice is going to go in there as well. And that is a 15-ounce low sodium.
I just want to eat some.
You just want to eat those. They look delicious. Absolutely. Looks so good. So 3 cans and our chicken and our spices that we made. And we are really ready to bake this. And we're going to bake it at 350 for, let me look here real quickly on how long we actually baked it. 45 minutes. 45 minutes, and that's going to, sure, put the big juices on there, scatter it throughout. And that's going to help tenderize our chicken. And it's going to be so yummy. Now, I will add an option with the way this recipe was written. It's a very interesting. So we're wait a minute. So this transforms into that. Okay, this is after baking. And one of the things that the recipe calls you to do is once it's baked, take it out of the oven. The chicken tenders are still intact. So you actually are removing, you're pushing back your vegetables and pulling out your chicken and shredding it. So my answer to that is if you don't want to do that, then I would dice your chicken at the very beginning. And because I use diced chicken in tacos all the time anyway. We dip shred this one as the recipe called for, so it does have the shredded chicken in it. We will. If you can see the chicken, I'm pulling that back. But you can see that it's of the consistency where you'll see us. In fact, I'm going to let Juliet. Well, I tell you what, we're going to go do our last recipe, and then I'm going to let you assemble some tacos at the end. Okay? We're going to put the tacos in. We can do that right now. We'll do that in just a second. You know what we're doing. Okay, so you'll come back and assemble your tacos. All right? Thanks, Juliet. We'll see you in a little bit. Okay? All right. Okay, so we've got our next. I keep upon you contestant, like this is a game show. Are you ready to do cooking?
Yes.
Hardcore cooking?
Yes.
Okay, this is
Lily.
This is Lily. Lily, how old are you?
6.
She's 6 years old. And what grade did you just finish in school?
Kindergarten.
Kindergarten. You're not really a first grader, are you?
No.
You're not? You're not going on to first grade? You are. She is going on. Juliet is the same. She's going on to first grade as well. So these are cousins. And so you have a lot of good playing time together, don't you? And you cook together with cousins too.
Yes.
Yes. Well, Lily is going to be featured in one of her, this is no lie, this is one of her favorite foods.
Yes.
And what is it?
Quesadillas.
Quesadillas.
I call them triangles.
She calls them triangles, and you'll see in a minute. On the stage is a pizza cutter that I might have somebody get out of it. All right, so really, this is so easy, but you know what? This is your first gig in the kitchen, okay?
Yes.
So it just makes sense that you would be, we'll do it on this tray, that you would be the one that would be selected to do this recipe, okay? Because you love them so much.
Yes.
And so I encourage you, again, find foods that your children love and let them help you prepare it. And so the more, the more they do that, the more they're going to want to try something different. And when they help select it, when they help prepare it, then you're definitely going to be more willing to eat some really good foods, right?
Then it will be tasty because I think I'll be too good to cook.
I think that's for sure. I think you're going to be able to cook.
Yes.
All right. So let's get everything we need out here to make your quesadilla. You know what? You really are the one that's taught Nani how to do this on the grill, on your all's ranch at home. You heard a question?
It smells so good in here because of all the things that people make in here. It smells so good.
It does. It does. I have answered a question on the chat box, and make sure you put in your questions and comments in there. And on the previous taco dish, I wanted to know if you could use different cuts of chicken, such as a breast or thigh. So definitely the breast. I would just cut it thin. And again, my opinion on that is that you could dice it, cube it, and then you're ready to go, or you can shred afterwards. Just it's up to you. It's your options. And thighs would be fine too. Just use whatever you like on the chicken. But a thinner slice is going to be better for the cooking time that is allowed for it all to go together. Not overcook the vegetables, but be sure to cook the chicken. So that's why that's a thinner slice. Okay, so hopefully we answered that question. All right, Lily, so here you go. You are going to show us how you make a quesadilla at home.
I think never made food.
You actually do make food.
I never made food before.
Yeah, well, you do make it with money. What do you call that?
I think I would call that good.
I do too. All right, so you're going to start with.
Spoon and then
There you go. So let's go for it. This is her whole wheat quesadilla and tortilla. Okay, so one of the reasons that we select the whole wheat is obviously for the nutritional value and the fiber content. So go ahead, just go for it. So she is sprinkling some variety of cheese. It's I think Colby and cheddar. I think that's Monterey Jack's in there. I think there's like 3 different cheeses in there.
You have to like spread it on around.
Sure, just you can put that on there.
It's so hard.
Go all the way to the bottom. It's really in there. There you go. Yeah, great job. So if you've got trays, I would suggest using trays at home. There's gonna be spillage, but this is really easy to clean up. It doesn't matter if some of that cheese gets on the side or vegetables. And you can just take that tray and take it to the sink and reel it with any excess. There you go. Just keep going. Put all that cheese all the way to the edges. You're doing a great job, Lily. Yep. Keep going. It's okay. Go on a bit more. There you go. That's amazing. Yeah. See?
If you get like a line and put it in the middle, you have more to like spread around.
Yes, you do. That's a good way to do it. Go all the way to the edges. There you go. One more will do it. Thank you. Just one more
It
spoon.
looks like a little bit of soup.
Yeah. Yeah. Come on, Doug. You showed me a good picture. There needs to be some art there.
Yeah.
What do you think it looks like?
I don't.
You
It
know
looks
that?
like a moon, like a half of it, and then there's like an astronaut right next to it.
Oh, that sounds good. All right, let's go. Let's move on to beans. Okay? So now we're going to sprinkle some beans on.
Yes, I
You
can.
can. You don't like black beans, do you?
I do. It tastes yummy.
You love black beans. This
Kind of get like a little bit, but then you like put them in one place, and that's what you spread around.
now this is her quesadilla. So she is she's free to use those hands. And you know I encourage that with children's cooking. We obviously wouldn't do that if we're serving others, but when they're doing their individual portions, then they have to learn. She'll get more talented with that spoon, but for right now, this is going to be something she needs to do. All right, one more.
When I'm food up, I'm probably gonna remember this.
You probably do.
Although I can't remember stuff from like 20 years ago.
Well, you can. No, I doubt you can for sure.
Maybe I can.
So you can take your spoon right now, and we can just like take these to the edges. You think that's enough beans?
One is long.
Now, sometimes you add something else to your quesadilla.
After I make this, soon I'm gonna eat this because it looks yummy.
You're gonna eat it.
Yes.
I bet you are gonna eat it. Okay.
You're gonna deliver it to my house and I'm gonna eat it.
Yes.
No, you're mine. I know. I know my first grandma and another grandma.
Yeah, we got lots of family. Okay, what are we gonna leave that open, or are we gonna put a cover?
We're gonna put a cover on it.
Okay, let's do it.
And just gotta pat it a little bit.
Yep.
With gentle.
Gentle, yes, we're gonna be very gentle with that. And then we have this wonderful big spatula that is great for children. And she's going to, with a little assistance here, get all the way under. Now she can put her hand on top of it.
And then you like.
And I'm gonna spray the scribble. Okay.
Yes.
Oh, did I spray it? All right, so you're gonna put that right on. There we go. Perfect. We're gonna transfer this back to our hot griddle. Give me 5 on that one. You did a wonderful job. You're just a pro at making quesadillas. I know. We're gonna make more. We're gonna make more after the show. How about that?
Yay!
Okay. So I think that Juliet is going to rejoin us, and we're going to put this delicious meal all together.
Are me and Juliet gonna do it together?
Yes, you are.
This is gonna be amazing cousin time.
It will be amazing cousin time.
It's gonna be cousin cooking time. I don't know what to call it, so I just make it. Let's look it together.
That's right. That's right. We're
Oh my
gonna,
gosh, that looks so good.
oh, I know.
I know that Juliet made that together. I was watching her from like back there.
Oh, we
Come on now. I'm sorry, making through. I can't make it.
All right, Juliet, we are going to, so we're going to microwave this real fast. Just for about 15 seconds, 20 seconds. And then your other tacos are gonna come out. Juliet, we talked about food groups earlier, okay? And you, on your particular taco recipe, how many food groups do you think are in that recipe? 4. So what, can you name those? Let's look at what all's in this dish. Let's think about what food groups are in there. Cheese is from our dairy group, yeah. If we add cheese, and if you said you like to add cheese, that would be adding it, okay? Chicken in the meat group.
Tomato, corn, vegetable.
Yeah. Fruits and vegetables.
And
Like you did it.
yeah.
Yeah. Oh, and what are we going to put it in? And that would be from the grain group. Got it. So this simple recipe, honestly, is going to feature 4 of our food groups. And, we've got high fiber with our whole wheat tortillas, and we've got all these great vegetables in here. And the most wonderful thing about it is that the taste is really, really good. So we're going to add 1 taco here, hard shell. Oh, boy. Got to stay with your quesadillas.
I hope my quesadilla is okay. I hope
Oh, yeah, you want that to be good, don't you?
Yes. Not like I remember
All right. So we're going to do one that's hot right now, so be careful with that.
Please do not touch that.
All right.
Yes, it is.
So Juliet's going to assemble. We're going to take our cooked surgeon here. And so Lily, you step down here a second while she goes to work. We're just going to put some of that in each one of them. Yeah, just sit down. There's chicken in there. It's okay. Oh yeah, we make this in the kitchen. That's okay. That's part of cooking. Absolutely. We always clean, can't we? But we got to get good food. We have to get really good food.
This looks delicious.
It does look delicious.
I trust you.
Oh boy. What do you think? You think you're there? So we also have some options of putting some cheese on and a little bit of lettuce if you like. Well, how about that? Okay. There we go.
Put it up hard chocolate. So
Yeah. You don't need a lot of it, do you? It's a smaller taco. Do that one?
But
Okay.
the sauce with the tortillas are those are big, good, yummy, and tasty.
Oh, it looks so pretty. We're putting some lettuce.
This looks prettier.
Yeah.
It looks thick.
Okay, I think you've done it. So now we're going to put it on here and we clean messes later, right? There we go. You also take little nibbles as we cook. There you go. Now we're going to get this great quesadilla over here. We haven't neglected it too long.
Really good.
Oh, I think it looks awesome.
Oh, steamed cabinet. And it's called steamed cabinet.
These spatulas they're really available in most of your just regular kitchen stores. We have one at home. I got one here at the office. You just have to really look for them, but I'm not calling out any store names, but I've found them at a variety of places that sell kitchen goods. So they're awesome. We use them for a lot of pancakes. They're great for pancakes. And get here. So we're going to cut our. Just have a piece of cutter. There it is. Yes.
The cutter. Ooh, that looks.
So Lily, what do you call these typically when we say we're going to have these
I call them quesadillas because we cut them into triangles. Well, I actually call them triangles.
You actually call them triangles.
Like, shape them into a triangle,
Yes,
and then eat them as a triangle, so I call them.
you do. You always call them triangles, and we got all that melted cheese in there.
I'll eat it right now.
So we've got a taco for Lily. Oh boy, we've got a taco, and then even to top it off, and we're not gonna eat just a second, okay? We're just actually gonna show.
I love quesadillas. Ever tried them? I bet you'll be like, ooh, this is yummy.
And then we're gonna give you some good salsa
You're gonna love that, Lily.
and a chip. And while you are ready for, not yet. It does look yummy to eat. It does look yummy to eat. Anyway, you are ready for a good
I've never
lunch.
tried the other things, but
And I know that Juliet is gonna want some too, correct?
yeah.
So which one, hard or soft?
Hard.
Hard. She likes hard tacos. So if you think about this, you want to do a quesadilla?
Wait a minute, Bonnie, can I tell you something? I tasted this before. I also taste like
Okay.
I taste like popcorn. I never did.
So there. Okay. So the bottom line with these recipes today is they're fun to make. They're not too complicated. Get to spend real good quality time in the kitchen with your kids. But the proof of the thing is that they're going to love what they eat. And I feel good about it as a grandmother, as a nanny, because I know this is really, really good food, good quality food. You're getting vegetables, you're getting whole grains. It's low sodium. I mean, it's just about anything that you really could draw up that would be a very, very healthy, long sustaining for a lot of activity in the summer. These girls are both on the swim team. They do some other activities as well, but they swim quite a bit each day. And they need to have some good food that can power their bodies, and so that they can get to from one activity to another to the next meal. Yeah.
I think when you eat like vegetables that power your legs, then you can swim back down.
I think you're right. I think that's exactly right.
Then you
So,
go like,
so I want to thank both of you for being such wonderful kitchen helpers today. And I can't wait to see what we are going to discover and make this summer.
these taste yummy, but I bet they will.
I bet they will too. So we will, who knows, we may be back with some other fun recipes this summer that we explore and find that are a good treat. And we're going to sign off. We're going to take any questions right now. Does anybody have any comments? Or, as I said, you'll get the recipes later this afternoon, so you can try. And I'd love to get your input, your comments back. Give your opinion on the recipes. We always like to hear from you, because that helps us better prepare for the very next. Y'all can eat your chips now. So just remember, I mean, on the tacos, I didn't mention the nutritional facts, but I'm gonna talk a little nice little thing here, right? So if you had the tacos is low calorie, 260 calories. We have great protein, 30 grams. That's awesome. And we also have the calcium, iron, vitamins. We have potassium and 26 grams of carbohydrates, 8 grams of fiber. So where did you get the spatula? I think I did answer that question. And your nutritional facts are on the screen. You can see it's a really, really good healthy recipe. So our next recipe is a garden patch salad. It's going to be on July the 7th at 11 a.m. Mark your calendars, sign up, registration's there on the screen. And I'm sure we are going to be selecting and choosing from a wide variety of great summer vegetables in order to make that garden patch salad. So glad you're going to join us with that. And so, girls, it's lunchtime around here, and we are ready to go with lunch. So we'll sign off right now unless we have any other questions, any other comments. This has been Lily, Juliet, and Kate, and Diana Doggett from the Cooperative Extension Office. And if you want to check out more cooking opportunities, then make sure you go to our website at Fayette Extension, and you will find some 4-H youth cooking activities throughout the summer. Great opportunities to get your children involved in not only cooking, but a lot of other activities that they will certainly benefit from. There's 4-H camp coming up. There's still time to register for that. So check out our website and see what else is happening. All right, girls, it's lunchtime. Can you say goodbye to everyone?
Bye. Bye.